And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, another epic VeVe live stream for y'all. Today, we have Ron English, the Last Fat Breakfast poster. Now, I think this is an awesome add to the showroom. If you have series 1, 2, and 3 of the serial killers, I think it's an awesome addition. Let's break down the details. I believe this will be a full set. It's a $100 list price, so it's a little bit more expensive than some of the posters that we've seen. And we have 1,959 editions, 1959. So anybody who gets that last edition, definitely a hodl. I think that's going to be a pretty valuable one. Let me show you guys what this one looks like. This is all the toys, all the series 1, 2, and 3 together at once. So I think that's a pretty cool idea that he had for the poster. Again, I don't have the series 1, 2, and 3 anymore. So unfortunately, the poster wouldn't mean as much to me as if I was able to keep them. How we doing, Adam Gonzalez? How we doing, brother? In the chat today. I think it will be a full set though, so I'm expecting at least a few $100s right away. If I can afford it, I will grab it, but I'm not gonna break the bank, try to absolutely must have this one. I don't have too many gems right now, so I'm not sure if I even will be able to afford it. I'm at least gonna go for the drop, try to get the drop. If I'm able to get this one, depending on the price point, I think I might just keep it. I don't think it's gonna be thousands of dollars, this one. If it was thousands of dollars, I'd probably flip it. I'd probably sell it. But this one, I think it's only going to be a few hundred. So I'll probably just hold on to it if I'm able to snag it on the drop. How we doing, Philly Perez? What up, King? How we doing, fam? We got Willow Kid in the house. Yeah, it's a first edition. I think it will be a full set. I think those that musical poster that just dropped was a full set, and I think it's about $130 right now. Does anybody remember the price point of those? I believe it was a little bit more affordable. Yeah, $60 for that poster. So again, I am expecting at least a few $100s for this price point for the serial killers. I think the full set will be a little bit more important to people later on once people start to actually see their points with the Master Collector program and all that kind of stuff. Happy New Year's Eve, brother. Hope you have a great night tonight and be safe whatever you're doing. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I'm going to do too much this New Year's. I'm just going to, hang kind of low key, not really do too much. I don't want to get worried about getting sick or anything like that. Do you own Omi? I do, Jeffrey. I think Omi, not financial advice, of course. I think Omi is basically the gasoline, the fuel, and you can look at these VeVe NFTs as almost the fleet of cars. Basically, is how I look at it. I think it's a pretty smart idea. Not financial advice. If you're able to afford a little bit of both, get some NFTs, some Omi. This will be good for MCP. Yeah, I think a lot of times the solo sets are just a cheap way to stack a set, right? But oftentimes we see, or actually every single set that has 4 or more, I believe, you get those extra bonus points. So I think something like the Cryptkin, something like the Unicornos, the Murmurcornos, those sets that have a lot of characters in the actual, a lot of collectibles in the set, they're going to pay a lot for the Master Collector program points. But again, if you just need a simple set, I think the poster, the Rogers musical poster, the serial killers poster, anything that's just a quick, easy solo set is nice to get. But some sets that will give you some good Master Collector program points that are kind of cheap right now. I'm thinking of things like the Groot. That has 3, so that's not as great as 4 or 5, obviously, but still 3 collectibles. You get a little bit of a bonus. Pretty cheap. Also, the Santa stamps. There's 4 collectibles in that set, and it's pretty cheap. So stuff like that, if you're looking for Master Collector program points, I think the sets that have 4 or 5 at least, the collectibles in there, you do get a pretty good bonus points for them. How we doing, Robbie Remington? How we doing, brother? I know you've been striking out recently, but hopefully you get one today. Today's going to be super hard to get. It may not be the most valuable, but I think everybody's going to be going for it. And we probably have hundreds of thousands of people on the app at one time for this. There's only 1,000 editions, 1,900, so 1869 available out of 1959. Here's a drop screen menu that I'm going to be on. So the buy now button is up this time. Not a blind box, obviously. We only have one to go for. Let's get that timing technique down. Brennan in the building. Yep. For anybody going out tonight, make sure you guys are all safe. You don't do anything stupid. Robbie, I don't think it's going to really cause too many people to not take part. I think there probably is a bad perception problem right now just because of the publicity of them. Philly Perez asking, you use one tap on these kind of drops? Yep, pretty much, Philly. So there's basically two kinds of drop methods. I mean, you can basically just keep spamming it, right? If you're just keep spamming the buy now button, or you can try to just one tap it. For me, on these kinds, I just like to one tap it. If I miss the timing, it's my bad and I'm off on that one. I got it wrong. But if I time it right, I feel like at least I have a little bit control of it, maybe. I may start trying the spam technique on the blind boxes that have multiple options. But for these, I definitely like to one tap it. I've been striking out lately, though. I think I'm just going to keep my strategy going. It's nothing that I'm doing wrong. It's just we have so many people. I think you need a little bit of luck and you have to time it perfect. So I'm not going to get it every time. Yeah, Willow, that's the hardest part right now. Is basically coming up with a strategy. I think the best thing you can do, though, for the game plan for the new year is to come up with a strategy. Your strategy may be wrong, but at least you have some kind of plan to go to. I mean, make it so where you can adapt to where maybe new things pop up, new news happens, and you can adapt and maneuver. But definitely try to come up with a plan. How we doing, Tony? Good luck, everybody. Awesome. Good luck today, brother. Yep, you too, Philly. You too. If I get alcohol poisoning, please spit on my NFTs. Don't take my Walt and Mickey. You guys are wild. Make sure you guys are definitely safe tonight. I mean, don't be doing anything wild. You got a big year coming up. Don't want to, you don't want to jeopardize any possibilities that happen. 2022 is the year of VeVe, so just keep that in mind when you guys are going out. I always one tap. Yeah, me too, Drew Seller. Me too. I just feel I have a little bit more control over it. I'm going to delete my files, make sure that's all good to go. Yeah, 22 minutes to the drop. Big drop the other day. We just had Amazing Spider-Man 252 drop. That was, that's still going around in the community right now, buzzing all over. I think the secret rare price, is it back up to 30K? I think it might be about 30K right now. Market's closed, so I can't tell. Had a feeling it was going to be around there. And it dipped, I think, to about 25K. And surprisingly, it's back up there again, 30K. I think the common, I want to say, is about 2K. Uncommon is like 1.7 last time I checked, 1.8. Feel bad for the people who spent 10K on that ultra rare because it dipped right back down to 5K. That's a 5K swing right there, big time. That's a fact right there, brother. That's a fact. Gotta move smart. I mean, these these comics from the last drop look amazing. Really wish I was able to grab at least one. I'm in love with the way that ultra rare looks. Am I going to pay 5K for it? Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of money. Otherwise, I probably would. If I had money just laying around, just all over the place, I'd toss a 5K at it. Is it smart? Probably not. But I just like the cover art so much to where if I could afford it, I would. Then I would have to say it's between that uncommon and the common. I'm leaning with the common. I love the colors on that. The rare. The rare looks pretty cool, the same as the ultra rare. But I like the colors better on that ultra rare. Drew Seller, appreciate you big time. Coffee on me. Let's go. Cheers, brother. Hope you have a good drop today. A little coffee gate action for this drop. Again, 1,900 editions, 1,959 editions, a total of 1,869 remaining. This is going to be a tough drop to get. If anybody gets this drop, shout out to you guys. Hopefully some people in the chat are able to lock this one in. Picked up a common Kang yesterday because the commons are popping off. What's your take on the uncommon Kang, JD? That green cover is sexy and stands out. Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have the uncommon, but I would like to get that one. I think the amount of editions is great. It's a pretty limited drop, and it stands out. That's definitely a comic book to where as soon as you see it, it catches your eye. It's definitely one I want in the showroom. I only have the common right now. I have the common of every single comic book except for the one that just dropped. So I was one of those people that was trying to collect a cover of every single comic book. I knew it wasn't going to be able to last because we will have probably thousands of comic books on here. But I was hoping the commons stay low, and not everybody has that same game plan. But may not be able to snag this one. Another sensible question. I'm on a roll. How do you sell an NFT on VeVe, and what's the best way to set prices? Robbie, I'm interested. I'm actually surprised you asked this question. I feel like you know this one. So I can't demonstrate it completely just because the market's closed right now. But basically, you would go into your collectibles. Say you want to sell this guy, right? You want to sell the Ultraman. You got to click on this little eye icon right here, right above the edition number. You got to click on that eye. What that's going to do is it's going to bring you to all the details once it loads. Of course, it doesn't want to let it load for me right now. None of them are loading right now. But basically, that's all you have to do. All you have to do, you have to click on that little eye icon. It's going to bring up the details. Then all you have to do is just click transfer. That's if you want to trade a collectible. You said sell a collectible, though. So right next to the transfer button, there's going to be a button that says sell in market. And boom, you can just click sell. It's not loading for me at all. Let me try to restart this. It's a little bit easier if I walk you through it. Let's try this again. You just got to click on that little eye icon on whichever collectible you want to sell. Once it brings up the details, boom, there's a transfer button here. But when the market's open right next to it, it's going to say sell collectible or sell. You click the sell button, then you have two options. You can put it in the auction or the marketplace. My biggest advice, when you list it in the marketplace, do not use decimal points. Say you want to sell that Ultraman poster for $1,500. Write out 1500. Do not write 1.5 thinking it's 1.5K. Seen that happen time after time, and it's unfortunate. But just remember, you will be able to write out the exact number. Don't use decimal points for that. I can't exactly walk you through the process just because the market's closed right now. But you just got to click on that eye icon, go to sell collectible, sell whatever the case may be, and then put it in the market. One thing I like to do is when you put it in the market, if you're not sure how much to put it in the market for, you can filter the prices in the market by lowest or highest, etc. So find out which mint number you have because the mint numbers are very important too. So I like to filter, say if you have mint number 500, go through the prices in the market, list it by like lowest edition first, and see how much that mint number is selling for around yours. So if you have 500, see what the 530 mint number is selling for. See what the 430 mint number is selling for. And that way you have a good gauge of where your collectible might fit in there. $275. This is the tough question right now, B Casper. This is kind of the one that's going on in the community right now. Low mint common original cover comic or high mint ultra rare variant cover. Which would you prefer? This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. I think it comes down to the individual comic itself. For the most part, personally, my personal opinion, I would rather have the low mint common original cover art. Now, maybe it's the ultra rare. Like, for instance, this last comic that just dropped, I love the ultra rare cover so much, I would be torn. Because one, the ultra rare has so few editions, and I love the cover so much. But that common is the original cover, and it already has a less than 500 editions. But for me, I think a low mint common will mean more when there's 30,000 commons out there. When there's only 500 common, I don't think a low mint common will mean as much, basically. So for that instance, for this one only, I might rather go with that ultra rare. But it's tough though, because I love the low mint common so much. I love the mint numbers because the way I'm organizing it too, in our showrooms, we're going to be able to display our mint numbers. So I want those 3-digit mint numbers on those comic books. It's a tough one. Low mint commons all day. Oh yeah, that's a good mint right there, brother. And not only just because I love the 7s, but as a collector, I mean, if you listed that, say, on the floor or something like that, that would sell immediately as opposed to a random number. Hey, my man, lunch with me today, buddy. Happy New Year and take a shot. Honor my name. Let's go, Adam Gonzalez, my man. With the super chat today. Appreciate you. Cheers, brother. Oh man, I picked up a Homer and Bart mint 13.55 for 10 gems the other day. I sent the guy 100 gems more because I felt really bad. Dang, Philip Perez. Absolutely. I think he was saying that just because I mentioned when you list something in the market, it's unfortunate. He probably, for 10 gems, he probably meant to put it for maybe 1,000 gems or something. I mean, 10 stuff. That's really unfortunate. Sometimes I see a lot, people will put it for like $1.50. And so to me, that tells me they meant to put like 1.5K they thought it would be instead of writing out 1500. So just remember, when you're listing anything in the market, don't even use decimal points. Just stay away from decimal points. And always double check before you hit that confirm. Just look it over. Some buyers only want these original comic covers. Absolutely, Crypto King. Absolutely. And I feel like I'm one of those people. I never collected comic books in the real world. So for me, this is like my chance to actually collect these real comic books just digitally. And so for me, I really want that actual physical replica. It's not replica, it's the real thing. It's just the counterpart, I should say. And I think the variants are awesome. I think there's going to be people in the app who collect just the variants for VeVe only. And my kind of hedge against that was to get a couple of the first ever variants for VeVe, the exclusive covers, I should say. I think it's the Fantastic Four number 13. That ultra rare and the rare are the first ever exclusive covers for VeVe. So I wanted to make sure I at least got them. How we doing, Jerry? How we doing, brother? Okay. So you never sold anything. Gotcha, Robbie. That's why I asked. Yeah. So you just got to go into your collectibles or your comics, whichever one you want to sell. Hit that little eye icon. It's going to bring down the details. Right next to the transfer button, you're going to see sell. And I like to sell in the market as opposed to sell in the auction, just because the auction, it takes 3 days right now. I think in the future they will make it like a 24-hour auction, which will be pretty cool. But a lot of times I just like to put it in the marketplace for the buy now. I've only tried it a few times with the auction. The buy now, I just like it a little bit more. It's just quicker, faster. Just be careful because once you list it, you list it. So I would say don't rush through that process. Make sure you're awake. You're not doing it midnight or something like that. And one way I like to, like I said before, just go through the market and see where your mint number lines up. And then look at those price points if you're unsure of how much you want to sell it for. Knight Rider in the building. This poster is a hodl. I think this poster is a hodl just because, one, it's not going to be thousands of dollars. So your flip probably won't be that, that much margin. You might make a few $100. But I think it'd be worth it to keep this one long term. There's not many additions on it. And I think everybody who gets the serial killers are going to want this poster. So that's something else to think about. How we doing, Getsy? This happened to me once too, Tony. Tony said, I've tried to sell a couple times at auction, and both times the buyer failed to pay. Waste of time. Yeah, I actually did this with one of my Tristan Eaton Devil Bunnies. The money would have helped out big time too if it went through and everything, but the buyer just never ended up paying. So that's one reason, again, I don't like the auction as much as the buy now. It's a great point that you brought up here. And nothing really happens to them that much. I think they just get their market restricted for maybe a couple of days. So I feel like that happens a little bit too often to where I just stick with the buy now pretty much. I think there's a good place for the auctions, but I would like to use it once they make it like a 24-hour auction. I would probably use it a lot more at that point. I just don't like having to wait 3 days, even though I should start using it a little bit strategically. And what I mean by that is I've thought about doing this, but I just didn't want to try to time it perfectly. For instance, if I think there's a gem squeeze coming up, right? This is actually a great time to use the auction. I haven't really tested it for this, but I've been thinking about it for like a few months now. I just haven't actually done it. So I'm thinking about it. Like if you were to use the auction, 3 days right before Disney hit, that would have been perfect because there's a gem squeeze and no one's really buying anything on the market. But if somebody paid for something in the auction, then it kind of forces them to have to pay. Even though they could just do what we talked about and end up not paying. But 1 hour auction, that's interesting. I wonder if they would do it less than 24 hours. What are you most excited for in 2022 with VeVeJD? Wow, this is interesting. All right, so I would say a couple things here. I would say one of the biggest things I'm waiting for is it to be on like major exchanges, not for the same reason as everybody else. Everybody else obviously wants it on major exchanges for the token to explode. I mean, obviously I want the token to explode, but I want it to be on major exchanges and MTL. Obviously not so I can cash out, but these two main things I want to happen so the world can like validate it. So many people to this day just talk about how you can't cash out, so it's a scam. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I don't even like answer that anymore. I don't even rebuttal. I don't even tell people like, Disney's on board with this company. It can't be a scam, right? I just literally just like turn the other way at this point because it's unbelievable how many times I still get that. So the fact that once we can all cash out, that's just going to be like, I told you it wasn't a scam. It's going to be amazing. And then also I wanted to be on major exchanges like Coinbase because then it's almost the same thing. People right now that I've told, go on BitForex and buy OMI before it explodes. They don't want to do it because BitForex is so alien to them, right? I mean, it was to me too, rightfully so. So once it's on that Coinbase, people are just going to go boom, buy it. Simple. They're going to start to look into it. They're going to see that you can cash out from the VeVe app. They're not going to have this, is it a scam feeling type thing. So really, those are two major things I'm waiting for just to validate it to the world. Obviously, everybody here, we know that it's for real, it's legit, but just to have that validation to the world is going to feel amazing. It's almost like we don't really need it because we already know where this is going, and it just gives us more time right now to stock up. But at the same time, like we've been waiting since March. My whole goal with this, as soon as I found it, I felt like it was like a mission to just get it go mainstream, But I don't think we have to push it too far. It's going to happen regardless. Just give it some time. Yeah, this is the last drop in 2021, y'all. This is a monumental moment right now. We are about to witness 1 full year of VeVe to launch to the public. That's unbelievable. And all those people that talked about how it was a scam, they probably won't hit you back and say you were right. They're just going to know. So it's just going to be one of those things where it's just going to feel great, How are we doing? Audible. We got fun under the sun in the building today. How we doing, fam? I'm on Disney collectible forums, and more people are asking about VeVe. That's awesome to hear. I don't have any serial killers, but I'll flip this one. Gotcha. Peter Jose, VeVe coin? No, so there will be a lot of scams popping up, Peter. So VeVe coin is not a real thing. It's called OMI, the OMI token, OMI. And I'm sure as we get closer to the transition and everything, there will be a bunch of scams popping up talking about VeVe coin and all this. That stuff's not real. The only thing that backs VeVe or that you can actually buy is the OMI token, OMI. So make sure you guys aren't getting fooled by all these VeVe token things that get, put out there. I think, VeVe Las Vegas, I don't really think it's too much hate. I think it's just a lot of people were kind of confused on why that happened because we haven't seen a comic with that few editions ever. So it was a little twist that they added in there. Definitely people were unsure of what was going to happen. Good luck to everybody. Good luck. Besides the value, which is your favorite VeVe NFT? I get this question a lot, man. It's tough to say one, just because I have so many that I'm emotionally attached to, like no matter what the price is. I would say Todd's up there just because of what Todd means. But for me personally, I would say Brandon's commenting on all my statuses while he's in the live chat. I would say Nightwing. Nightwing's one of those collectibles to where, since it was my first drop ever, I still have my first 2 Nightwing that I ever got, originally owned. I've listed them for sale a few times, and I'm so glad I delisted them because those are 2 that no matter what the price is, it could go up to 5K, maybe 10K, who knows, but I really don't want to sell them. They're only at 1K right now, like 1.3. I can't load the messages right now. Oh my God, I can't load the app at all. Are you kidding me? There we go. I'm going to stay away from loading these messages so I don't get messed up. So, Brendan, I can't see your comment right now. I would say Nightwing's up there. I really like Ritmo a lot. Just the dreads, the black and the yellow, the way they contrast each other. I love the way they look. I'm really attached to a lot of those season 1 collectibles. They just give me a crazy feeling, and it's like a time capsule because I remember buying all them for retail, and people were laughing at me, and I knew we were going to get to this point. So it just feels crazy. Smash the like button for good luck. Bless the chat, everybody. Bless the chat. Hey, we got Doobs in the house. Yeah, it does get annoying when you see multiple people have the same one. Like we saw that with the Spider-Man comic book that just dropped. Like we obviously know people couldn't have got multiples on that one. Unless they have multiple phones. 100%. Yeah, I love Nightwing. Only slowly moving up today. Let's go. Black and yellow. Yeah. Shout out to Wiz. No, I love Ritmo a lot. Shout out to Franelations again. I always shout him out because he was on Ritmo so much before it got animated. He was telling me every day that Ritmo is his favorite collectible. It's like the Pikachu. And I was like, this guy gets it. I was just, picking his brain, really starting to understand the physical collecting world because of him. And when it got animated, I was like, yo, your favorite one just got animated. So that was awesome to see. The Labicorn. Interesting to see what that one does on OpenSea IMX. We got a minute 30 seconds to the drop. Minute 33. So those are some of my favorite ones. I really like the FA Joker. Obviously, Dragon Girl. Dragon Girl's kind of, I wouldn't say like leaving me a little bit, but like I just feel like I'm growing more attached to my first ever drop. Like that Nightwing is growing on me more and more and more. But the aesthetics of Dragon Girl, that's the first art piece of season 1. I think they made it the last set of season 1 on purpose. Like, I think that's going to be a big one. Because if people want artwork, are they going to want it from season 3? Well, they're going to want it from any season that looks good to them. But I think a lot of collectors will want something from the earliest season. We got 45 seconds to the drop. They are going to be collectibles. I'm not sure what question is that, Diego. I'm not sure what kind of question is that. 30 seconds to the drop. $20 seconds, y'all. Another coffee gate. Good luck, everybody. 13 seconds. I'm going to record. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. Nope. It wanted to, but it said, I I got the heavy load. And then it said all editions have been reserved. That was wild. My timer like skipped at the very end too. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Let's watch the tape. Yeah, see, I felt like I was a little late. Last time was early, so I didn't want to be too early again. Nada. Anybody get it? Yeah, see, mine didn't work right either. Welcome to my world. Yeah, I feel like everybody's timer kind of reset. Yeah, something didn't happen right. Because my timer did that too. That's crazy. I'm glad everybody's did that. It wasn't just mine. How is this possible? Immediately went to sold out. Timer issue. Nope, nothing. I wonder if anybody got it. Did anybody get it? Because if nobody got it, they'd probably restart it. Honestly, they'd probably do it again. I should mess with people and for this one say I got one. Jeremy Padawar just said describe 2021 in 3 words. I'm saying VeVe and Okomi. Of course, with my rocket emoji. I had to. Been in a slump lately. Anyone able to snag one? Been in a slump lately. Where's my green truck at? Oh, timer issue. Tubes did not hit. It's a bot trap. Maybe they did 2 bot traps in a row, right? I think it actually would be a great way to do it. Because, I mean, they would know who got one. Oh, surprise drop later today. What about that hint they gave? I would definitely say, I don't know if there's going to be a surprise drop or not, but I would say the way I look at it is anytime on Christmas, I wasn't sure if there's going to be a Christmas drop or not, surprise. So around times that I thought could drop, I was on my phone checking, so definitely be tuned in. Let's go. Alex got one. Let's go. Robbie, where did you mention me? Oh, I see. That would be awesome. I would love that one. They have to have a redo for that one because there's literally no way. Yeah, that one was insane. Shout out to anybody who was able to get that one. That was crazy right there. My nose is running really bad right now. Let's go. Vico got one. I struck out big time today. Was a mad shock at a Loman too? Wait, Dubes, you did get one. Let's go, Dubes. Tag me on Twitter if you got one. Yeah, Brennan's been on a big cold streak lately. After those 2 secret rares, he was like, you know what? My luck is all out. Jin instantly 2 sold out. Yep. I'm not sure what they hinted at. I feel like there's always just a surprise up their sleeve with VeVe. Like, you never know what they're going to go for. You never know what they're going to surprise us with. Sometimes it's a secret rare. I would say on the new year, just be ready for any kind of surprises. I really thought maybe at first we see the animated DeLorean come and kind of be drivable again. That was kind of my surprise. Well, not my surprise, but like that's kind of what I was thinking the surprise might be. Exactly, yes. I know some people that hit on Twitter. I just reposted them. Let's go, dudes. You're right, bro. You did hit it. 105. Let's go. Come on. Focus up. Focus up on it. One time. Come on. Focus up for Dubes. 105. That's big time, brother. That's a great cop right there. Let's go. I'm just glad somebody in the chat got one. Awesome. And it had to be Dubes too. That's awesome. Dubes has definitely been a loyal supporter for a while now. Always in the chat early. Always trying to make it. I feel like he's been struggling a little bit too. Dubes, you've been struggling on the drops too, right? So I'm glad that you got one. Yeah, Willow. So great question, actually. It's not a dumb question at all. The question was, he said, JD question, maybe a dumb question, but when I click my collection and I'm looking at the top right, it has a gem amount and a number with a percent. What does that all mean? So that used to be, it's never actually worked right. So when you go into your collectibles, it'll say like whatever amount is 12.8K and then a percent, like 73%, whatever. That's supposed to tell you your evaluation, but obviously it's not right. Obviously mine's more than 12K, right? I spent more than 12K. So that used to be evaluation of your collection up to 73% or whatever. It just never worked right. I think that's something that they're waiting a while on. The reasons I'm not sure why, but that won't tell you your actual valuation of your collection. It's supposed to tell you the appraisal, but obviously it's not working right. It's never worked right. That's one thing that I wish they did get fixed, because then we don't have to go to that third-party site to go figure it out. But shout out to Ecomi Wiki, because that website's amazing. I think it was Omi the Clown that made Ecomi Wiki. And so we can't obviously see the appraisal on the VeVe app right now, but through Ecomi Wiki you can. Hopefully that's one of the things that does get fixed in 2022. I'm sure that's just on the back end of the priority list right now for Ecomi. Let's go. Coming off being sick. Let's go. That's big time. JD, what do you think I can get one for on market? Half as scarce as Rogers poster, and also more popular artwork. I'm hoping I can lock one in below 300, but I don't know. I think it's going to be anywhere from 300 to 500, to be honest. I think after it dips, like when more announcements get announced in 2022, like early, it could dip back down below 300, like 250-ish. That's just what I'm thinking off the top. I didn't put too much time into coming up with a prediction, but thinking of it off the top right now, I'm thinking it's going to probably be anywhere from 300, 400, 500. I think it is a one-on-one set. I think it is. Let's go. Everybody wants the price predictions right now. 1209, January 1st here. Wow, December's in the future. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Price predictions. I would say this one's probably not going to be crazy high. I don't think it's going to be like $1,000. Now, Dubes is mint. If you get a low mint of one of these, it's like a, sub 200 like he did, sub 500. I think the low mint on these collectibles from the artists are going to be huge. Because you got to think, once we're definitely going to be able to take Ron English's collectibles onto OpenSea, onto IMX, right? So I'm thinking of Dubes is 105 right now. These posters on Immutable X, when they're listed, they're probably going to get listed in by edition number, or it's at least going to be an option, to filter by edition number. So that's why I think the low mint of these artist collectibles are going to be huge. That's how you identify the one of one. Each one of these collectibles is a one of one because of that mint number. So I think the low mints are going to be big time. It is a one-on-one set. I can confirm. NFT Pirates made a video. What was the video on? I didn't get to check it out yet. Shout out to Pirates. My man, me and him got to definitely do more videos together. Man, I love Pirates. Great dude. Great guy. Yeah, great dude. Did you get your comic from yesterday's drop? I did not. Fun Under the Sun. I did not grab one, unfortunately. Gonna hopefully try to grab one, but I'm not gonna sell any of my grails for it. That's for sure. If I'm able to lock one in, great. It's like $2,000 for a comic book. Whew. Do I think it can go up? I do think it could go up. It's just tough for me to put that kind of money like in one comic book, because I know there's going to be tons of comic books to come, including grails. Like there's going to be more grail comic books. It's just tough for me to put that kind of money on one comic book. I may have to come up with a new goal and may not be able to collect every single comic book. But also at the same time, it kind of makes me want to grab it because I know so many other people have that same goal and they're thinking the same thing. So if I kind of leg up and get one, that'd be a nice little come up. Not sure if we'll see a drop tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't really see the market continuing to keep dipping. I think probably just because the drop was today, maybe people want that. Maybe people want to try to sell some things to get that Spider-Man comic that just dropped before it actually runs up out of reach. But I think after today, we will see that market kind of recover a little bit. Yeah, Gio. So he just said, I saw someone say they hoped the one-of-one collectibles they were talking about would be 10K minions, all different variations. That would be sweet. Mints, I think he meant to say all different variations. I think that is something that David said will happen eventually, which will be awesome to see. And plus, accessories will make them all aesthetically look different. But but even without the customization or a whole new one-of-one type thing or any kind of accessories, these are all one-of-ones by themselves, even if the aesthetics look the same because of these mint numbers. If the mint numbers were all the same, then these would all be fungible tokens. But what makes them non-fungible is that mint number right now. Hey, peace out, Getsy. Appreciate you big time for tuning in. Big support all year. Happy New Year, brother. What is up with the snow globes? Rare's almost under $100. That's wild. I actually just picked up was it a rare? Let me see. I just picked up another snow globe that I didn't have. It was an uncommon. But the reason why I picked up the uncommon is because check the mint. This is probably my favorite snow globe I just got. Come on, focus up. Need to see this mint number. Once you guys see it, you're going to say, wow, let's go. Well, my finger's covering up, of course. 777. Let's go. Paid a little bit for that one. It was actually pretty cheap for how much it was. Wow. Look at you, Willow. Willow said, I still have 77 Go tokens. I'm trying to send them out to the community to use for gas, for a token swap. If people need them, they can just hit me up on Twitter and I'll send them over. Wow, look at you, Willow. That's amazing to hear. I may actually take a Go token from you to send to one of my boys. Appreciate you big time. So if anyone hears that and they need some Go tokens, message Willow Kid on Twitter. Yeah, 77, man. That's a lot. How'd you get so many? Where do you see the secret rare and ultra rare comic from yesterday's in about a month? The ultra rare looks awesome. I think the ultra rare could increase because the aesthetics alone, it looks amazing. Now, this is not a holy grail comic book, so we may see a dip. We absolutely may see a dip. I thought the secret rares would have dipped a little bit by now, but it's really interesting to see what happens with those secret rares because there's only 40 of them. There's probably even less the public, right? So the way I'm thinking about it is, Wales could play some games with that one. Wales could, grab half the supply, right? Grab 20 of them. They could burn 10 of them. And now think of how scarce that is right there. So you don't know what kind of games they're going to play with that one. But it's interesting. I would wait to see if the ultra rare keeps dipping a little bit. It's tough. I mean, we've never seen a comic book happen like this. So I'm kind of just more so, instead of coming up with predictions where it's going to be, because those are complete guesses, I'm more so trying to watch this one and just see what happens and react to it. I'm not going to go after the secret rare, the ultra rare, the rare. If anything, I would just go after the uncommon or the common on this one. Hey, have a good one, Dubes. I'll probably still be here when you get back. Snow globes, I feel like they're being slept on. VeVe Las Vegas, I paid $2,100 for my comic, but it's a long-term hold. I got them all centerpiece to my comic collection. Once can put into the vault. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's going to be a centerpiece for a lot of those people that have it because not many people are going to have this comic book. So I think that's an awesome way to look at it. Brendan. We got a Coke 626 in auction ending in a couple hours if interested. Is it a secret rare Coke? Wow, that's awesome. Drop your Go address and I'll send y'all over. Some dude sent me 100 randomly the other day. Originally had 20-ish to give out, but he wanted me to hook up with more to help more people. Wow, that is amazing. You were helping out a bunch of people. He's like, you know what? Take these 100. That's awesome, dude. So yeah, if you guys need Go tokens for that token swap, that's going to happen. Basically, if you guys don't know what I mean, is when we swap the OMI token, you're going to need to have a little bit of Go tokens for the transfer fee. Just common. Ah, gotcha. I mean, the common Coke is going to be a good one just because of the polar bear. I think I only paid $200 for that 777 number, which was wild to me. Let me check. Okay, so I paid $300, $299, $399, so $400. I paid $400 for it, which still I thought under $500 for repeating 777 number. I saw one of them. It was like 2.9K, and I was like, dang, that's a little bit too out of reach for me. Needed at least one 777. So we did. We had Dubes, Verena, Dubes, loyal supporter for a while. He was able to snag a 105 poster today. And we had Jose Manuel get a number 238. That's amazing. Price prediction of this drop, 500. Yeah, so for your mint number, if you got a 238, Jose, I think it's definitely going to be more valuable than whatever the floor is. That's for sure. 238 is relatively pretty low. Like a sub 500 on these, I think it's pretty valuable. I think the price prediction, I thought originally the floor would be anywhere from 300 to 500, give or take. So with a sub 500, sub 300, let's go. Wolf of Coin Street, price prediction for number 245. So it looks like you got a 245. Sub 300, I think you're looking at over $500 possibly. Will Omi hit 1 cent in January? That's a great question. If I was to predict, it's pretty close, to be honest. It doesn't have to go much further to get to 1 cent. A lot of big things could happen in January. But again, that's only 30 days, so just imagine what would happen if we got a Coinbase listing January 7th, January 14th, Coinbase listing. What happens by the end of the month? But I just don't know if that's going to happen that soon. So don't put all your hopes on that one thing happening in January. It has like less than double, and it's over 1 cent. Sold off my Wonder Woman set to get comic yesterday. That's actually interesting right there. So I don't think that's a terrible play. I think Wonder Woman is actually going to be huge. It's the first appearance of Wonder Woman. But the rest of that set, I don't think it's a, holy grail. I think the Wonder Woman is the best one out of that set. But if you get the comic from yesterday, it could end up being a lot more valuable. It's going to be interesting to see how that one pans out. Josh Cohen. A lot of people are asking me about this one. They haven't, I don't think. At least they haven't. I don't think they've talked about a surprise drop or anything like that. So I wouldn't hold your breath and guarantee it. But the way I treat these days, like something like today, something like Christmas I was even ready for, I'm just on the app pretty much all day and just waiting around those times of drops. Like maybe whatever the drop time is for you usually in the day and the nighttime, be on the VeVe app around those times. They like to reward people who are on the app. So that's what I like to do. They're definitely coming soon. We don't know if it's going to actually happen in January. That's why I don't want to put a yes, definitely, only 1 cent in January. I would actually be surprised if it's not close to 1 cent by the end of January, if it's not actually in 1 cent. I think, man, big things are happening in 2022. That's all I know. I don't know what's happening exactly, but I know big things are happening. How do you feel about the Q system? This is going to be a big debate in the community. I'm okay with it, but also I already have a big collection. I know people are going to want the Q system that haven't gotten anything in a while, but I think those people are going to find out that you may not get one in a while with the new system. It may make the system at least seem a little bit more fair, though. So that might be great. I'm trying to think of it as like a family member, like, doing it with your mom and your grandma, parents. Like, they don't want to have to try to make it as hard as it is right now for them. So I'm just hoping the Q system that they implement is still fun for, people like us. And then it's still fair for everybody else too, It's tea time with dudes. That should be like a YouTube segment channel. (2022), one thing that I'm going to do for sure is I took a little break the second half of this year with videos. You guys saw I was just doing the live streams. And so one thing that I really want to do with 2022 is just go absolutely hard. Video every single day. That's one of my goals. With the live streams as well. I just want to put out as much content as I possibly can. 2022, I felt like even with the live streams and everything on Twitter, etc., I felt like I've taken a mental break enough to where I'm ready to actually put the pedal to the floor and grind hard on this content stuff with YouTube. So I'm excited for 2022 for that reason. Spike that tea and celebrate, fam. You think we are getting a drop tomorrow for the new year? That's hilarious. I don't know, Ed Feely. I think if we get a surprise, I wouldn't be surprised, but I can't guarantee it. I'm not going to kill myself. I am going to go hard, but I'm not going to overdo it, obviously. I'm just going to do it because I really want to. Like, I love VeVe so much to where I find myself talking about it 24/7. And then I find myself saying a bunch of things, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't put that on YouTube. So I'm just gonna go hard with content. Is Recur a threat? No, I don't see it being a threat at all. I think the NFT space is gonna be big enough to where there's gonna be a bunch of platforms. I think if anything, it's only gonna help because it's gonna help more people get into the NFT space. I think they're gonna do something big with college sports, right? So imagine all the people that come into Recur, say just for college sports, they finally get into NFTs, digital collecting. Maybe they're huge Batman fans, Spider-Man fans, Superman fans, right? VeVe's gonna have something for everybody, and everybody's a fan of something. So that's why I think the more people that come into the NFT space, they're gonna literally just find something on VeVe that they love. Yeah, exactly. I'm a youngin. Yeah, dudes, I don't want to like if I get drained of it, obviously I won't keep doing it. But I think I have enough content to where, I mean, there's something about VeVe I can talk about every single day. Anywhere from, I may repeat some stuff. Like I put out a video in the summer about why duplicates are so important. But there's so many new people in VeVe now too, to where I don't think it's a bad thing if I do repeat myself. I think maybe it could, because a lot of times experienced users too, not just new users, experienced people, they forget some key factors, some important, crucial keys too. So I think it's just good to reiterate some things. Talk about, just as a new user, what to really focus on. Because that's the thing too, as a new user coming into VeVe, it can be daunting because there's so many collectibles now, so many comics. It's like, where do I begin? So I think if I just, give content, give my advice, not really financial advice, but just experience things that help me along the way, I think it can really help some new users too. Ryu, W for me. Let's go. We got another winner on the drop today. Now, the one thing that drained me, dudes, in the early days was doing the live streams from like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Like that's what really drained me. Like a couple of days in a row of that really, really drained me. I was doing that kind of weekly, so that's a fact. Vernal got one. Let's go. My price prediction, $700. Definitely could be. Definitely could be. I think $300 would be too low. I think 300 would get scooped up instantly. That's just kind of what I thought it might start out in the market as soon as it opens. And then I could see it going up to 4, 5, 6, 7 would be a lot, but it is a full set. It is a full set. Market's still closed. We got Punch in the building. How we doing, brother? If you had 100 gems right now, what would you buy now when the market opens? Ooh, this is a good one right now. This is a good question. Because that's the thing. A lot of times people just start out with, they don't have $1,000 to go spend. So I think if you have $100 right now, I think one thing that you want to look at is getting multiples. Meaning it doesn't have to even be the same collectible. If you find a great deal on one, then maybe it could be. But I think if you get multiple, it's a good strategy. Now look for things that are around retail price, or look for things that haven't really exploded just yet. For instance, I think the Borg Cube has been under retail almost this entire time. The same way so many things were under retail. The DeLorean car common, that got down to $13. I think retail price is about $30 or $40. That DeLorean common, when it first dropped, for a couple months after, was under retail for $13. It got down to crazy. And so what I've noticed on VeVe is anything that's under retail or about retail hasn't really gone up too much yet. There's still so much more room left to grow. The only problem is it may take a month or two to get there. So I think if you're able to stock up on a few things that are under retail and still have enough gems left over for the next drop, that's going to be where you really start to see profit in a couple months, because every single week there's more and more users that come on the platform. Anything around retail price is not going to stay retail 3 months from now. Not financial advice. Ooh, Gold Dragon Girl or Nightwing? Gold Dragon Girl's a full set. Nightwing season 1. Whew. I think season 1's going to be an unattainable punch. I think Nightwing's a great one to go with. That Gold Dragon Girl, it's a full set. I think the artwork looks amazing. Dragon Girl is one of my favorite aesthetic looking ones. But I think season 1 is going to be unreachable, especially an ultra rare from season 1. Nightwing is huge. I still have 2. I haven't let go. If you have 2 Nightwing, he says he has 2. If you have 2 Nightwing, then maybe it's smarter to go with the actual Dragon Girl, the gold one. That's why it's so hard to just answer that with a blanket statement, as opposed to, you guys know I like to ask a question. I would say it depends on your situation, you know. How many of each do you have? Are you looking for more sets to grab? If you're looking for more sets, then maybe it is better to go with that solo set. Looks like a lot of other people are saying Nightwing as well. He had 3 Nightwing. Wow. Look at you, Bunch. John, you got to get a spot. One of Kobe collects blind box. I got to check them out. I feel like a lot of people are doing blind boxes now. I'm going to check out what the deal is. Yeah, I saw them when they first dropped. I actually thought about getting a couple when they first dropped. I just never decided to. I think the problem is, man, with a lot of these other platforms, could they be great in a couple years? Yeah, they probably could be. But it's just not frictionless right now. There's too much friction. It's not as easy to use. It's not as clean looking. That's where the VeVe app it's a game changer. Like when you go into VeVe, it makes it look fun. It makes it feel fun. It's easy to use. Everything looks crisp, clean. Like, it's almost, I look at VeVe as like the iPhone, and then all these other platforms is like another cell phone, and it just doesn't feel the same. It's not as easy to use. Like, I'm sure they're gonna be well off in the future, like years from now, when they find out a frictionless way to make it seamless. But by the new signal, do you mean the new drop style, Paul? And they haven't exactly announced when it's going to happen, but I would say sometime January, February, March, the new system would get implemented. I'm just trying to check when this market's going to open. But then the VeVeverse reassures me in a way. Yeah, so Vernal said, I want to buy season 1 things, but I'm worried about a crash with payout. See, I don't think I'm like I'm kind of not the majority. I think the majority of people think there's going to be a crash when the payout happens. But that's also why I'm not in the majority, because I've realized when most of the people think one way, the opposite usually happens. And also I was thinking about it. If they made the cash out option available to everyone in a split second, okay, it's like a light switch, everybody can cash out, then I would agree. Then maybe there might be a crash type thing temporarily, but they're not going to do that. They've said how they're going to do it in waves, slowly, like the first group of users, then the next, and eventually over time, everybody will be able to cash out. But because they're going to do that in waves slowly, that's what makes me think there isn't going to be really a crash or a big dip like that. because so many things are happening, right? As the wave keeps getting bigger, as more and more people can cash out, there's going to be way more users that are pouring in. And plus, with the Master Collector program rolling out, all these other drops rolling out, it's going to incentivize people to not want to cash out. So it'll definitely be interesting to see be played out. Wax was honestly so complicated to use back in the spring. Too many took so many steps just to get the wax to be spent on the app. How to convert Bitcoin through a third-party app, etc. Yeah, a lot of people say it's easy, but I feel like it's easy for the people that are already in this space, right? I'm thinking of it more like as someone who's walking down the street, gets them into digital collecting. They're not going to want to have to deal with that, learn that, etc. Yeah, I have the same. VeVe Las Vegas, same here, my man. I feel like this is what people aren't really understanding. We've waited since March for the cash out option just to be enabled, right? Just to have that option. VeVe Las Vegas said there's a lot of my friends are waiting to get in once the cash out features arrive. Exactly. So many of my friends are saying it's a scam. They'll get in once you can cash out. And not even just my friends. I know so many people with, big bags, a lot of money who they don't want to put in hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars if they can't withdraw, they can't like cash out. Once they're able to get that liquid, they don't feel like it's a risk anymore putting that money in. Now, the people who did put the hundreds of thousands in, the millions in early when you couldn't really withdraw or cash out, that's that risk that you had to take that you will be rewarded big time, I believe. And that's where people make a lot of money when it's kind of risky, right? If you did the research, it's not a risky investment because you know who the team is. But on the outside looking in, you don't know the team, you can't cash out. It may look like a big risk. Yep, and there's a limit too. You got to hold above a certain amount. They talked about how they're gonna start out with the early users, the people who have that big gem account, just because they want to make sure that it works too seamlessly without any kind of problems. And they don't want to have hundreds of thousands of people trying to cash out if there might be a problem or a bug or something like that. Majority are not getting the drops. So many people are waiting for this. The new drop system, I think you mean? Yeah, I think a lot of people are waiting for the new drop system. Definitely. VeVe is the gateway in the NFTs for sure. That's a fact. High risk, high reward. That's how it goes in life, man. That's really how it goes. And it was great. It was a blessing because all of us in here, we were in almost every AMA, right? A lot of you were in almost every AMA. I think I was in every single AMA that took place since the very beginning. I was in, so I was able to learn, research, understand who David and Dan were, the team, Al Khan. So, like, to me, it wasn't a risky investment. To everybody who wasn't in there every single week, who didn't do the research on the CEOs, the founders, it may look like a risky investment to a lot of people. Same way, Punch, same way. If it does dip, I think a lot of people are going to be copping for sure. I thought you were kidding. I copped it. Let's go. I'm just trying to wait for this market to open, see what these prices are. We got Kevin. We got Mike Evans. He's off the COVID-19 list. He looks okay, but very fatigued easily. Oh man, do I start Evans? We got questions. We got questions. Championship game. Can't be messing around. I really do think AJ Green is going to surprise everybody, though. AJ Green has been having a lackluster performance last few weeks, but he usually bounces back every time he has a bad game. 4 points in the first game, bounce back with 13. Week 5 against San Fran, 2 points. Next game, 18. 1 point versus Carolina in week 10. Week 11, 12 points. Week 13, 2 points. Week 14, 17. Week 16, last week, 4 points. This week, he's going to bounce back, have a 19-point game. Do you hold an OG Devil Bunny set? I actually do not. The only one I have is the red Devil Bunny, the red Dunny. But I actually have great mint numbers. I have a 99 or 98, somewhere in the sub 100s. And then I also have a 43 mint number red Devil Bunny. So that's some of my best mint numbers right there. And that's kind of my hedge. I had to sell my series 1, 2, and 3 Kozik. I only kept a couple of collectibles, maybe the red one of the Labbits. I sold the Round English set. I only have a couple of the series ones. And so my hedge, in case those artist collectibles do go off on OpenSea, because I think they will. I made sure I got this a cheap one too. I think it was $500 I bought it at. Less than 1,000. I know that. I'll try to bring it up. A 43 mint number though, from Tristan Eaton. I feel like that's gonna be a big one right there. I think it's a common though, so I have to go all the way down. Here it is. Let's go. These are my 2 babes. 94 and a 43. Let's go. So those are my 2 good ones right there. It's between basically Brandon Cooks, Evans, or AJ Green. And if everybody was healthy, I would go Mike Evans or maybe Brandon Cooks. But Brandon Cooks is going against San Fran, the 49ers. And I may be playing the 49ers defense or the Eagles defense. Eagles are playing Washington. San Fran's playing Houston. But Brandon Cooks is back. AJ Green, I'm playing Kyle Murray too. The point total for the Dallas game is crazy high. That's another reason why I think AJ Green's going to bounce back a little bit. Yeah, the Broncos need a QB. They do, man. I like Teddy Bridgewater, but I just feel like maybe they need some wide receivers too. I mean, they got some other ones like Sutton. He's okay, but I don't know. And Patrick, but Broncos need some work. They do need some work. Play Trey Lance. Hey, Willow Kid, have a great New Year, man. Appreciate you big time. Willow said, I'm out, JD. Have a blessed New Year, fam. We're going to split some bars together in 2022. Love and blessings. I think he meant beers. Split some beers together. Be safe, y'all. Yep. Have a great one, Willow. Appreciate you big time for all the support, my man. Have a great New Year. Punch woke up to a bunch of gems. That's a great feeling. Let's see if this market's open. Brown was good, then Gronk. I'm actually playing the guy who has Antonio Brown and Gronk, though. And they're running back, and they're playing the Jets. So I feel like it could be a rough one for sure. And it's funny because I actually had a lot of those players, but I had to scrape my way into playoffs. I had those players in like stock, basically on my bench, waiting for that championship game if I made it. But it came down to the last game of the season for me. So I was like, you know what? I want to save these players so bad, but I got to make playoffs. So I had to do what I had to do just to make playoffs. Oh, spit bars. We rapping, dog. Let's go. Yeah, he said spit some bars. Let's go. I thought he said split some beers. Wow, let's go. Reslone got one, brother. That's awesome. That's what you get for not giving up, my man. I know Rez has been struggling lately. All right, market's still closed. Do you remember what collectible that dropped that was never announced? Like the surprise collectible, you mean? Like I think it was Lucky, right? Lucky wasn't announced. It just popped up like 10 minutes before. Is that what you mean? Well, I'm starting Rojo, picked up last week. Jets D. Do I need to save more? Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I saw the Bucks D was playing. I had Bucks D, I had Gronk, and that was it. And I had to let them go, I think about 4 weeks ago, because I was just struggling just to make playoffs. I was like, you know what? I got to save these because I saw they were playing the Jets last game of the season. I was like, wow, if I can just save these for the championship game, that would be amazing foresight. But I was like, I don't want to save them and then not make playoffs and then just go to a waste. So I had to drop them in order to pick up some players in those couple weeks, last weeks of the regular season. Got to the playoffs, but now I'm playing the guy that has the Bucks defense, Rojo, A. Brown, and Gronk. So I'm hoping for a crazy upset somehow, and the Jets like hold them to not going off. I don't know how that's going to happen, but yeah, so that was Lucky. Lucky just appeared in the drop with like 10 minutes to go. So if they do some kind of secret drop, it'll probably be the same thing, like 5 minutes to go. Here's the drop. They won't actually let us know. That's if their surprise does happen. J East Music, I subscribe. Let's go, VeVe fam. Appreciate you big time, brother. I think all Ultramans slept on right now. We haven't really seen that fan base hit VeVe just yet. Yep, exactly. When you can you can really pick up a defense based on the matchups every single week. I actually just picked up 3 kickers this week because the person I'm playing against, he needed a kicker. And I was like, yo, since this is the championship, let me pick up the top like 3 best kickers, 2 best kickers in the free agency. So he couldn't pick them up. So I picked up Mason Crosby. I picked up Prater from the Arizona Cardinals kicker. And he ended up picking up Nick Folk, the Patriots kicker. It's kind of questionable right now. They are playing Jacksonville. So it's just wild. Like the last minute, battle back and forth. Yeah, Burrows went off last week. And it's actually funny. I knew the guy I'm playing against, he has Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. And he picked up Burrows. I was about to pick him up. Block him. Wow, let's go. Maybe the Ultraman fans are coming. Puncher said, oh my God, someone bought my Ultraman for like 400. Wow, regular mint, that was it. Interesting. What was the Ultraman? What Ultraman was it, Punch? For $1,400? That's a lot right there. Was it the Secret Rare Ultraman poster? This market open? Market's still down right now. Anybody know if VeVe put out a tweet or anything? It was a bold move. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have enough. My team's pretty deep. It's only an 8-man league in this, so all the teams are pretty deep. The ultra rare. No way. $1,400 Punch? That's wild. That's hard to believe right there. Not a crazy mint. You sure you didn't sell like a good mint by accident? Wow, they're coming for those Ultramans. Mark asked to open. Market's still closed. What's your VeVe username? I'm sending you a gift. Hey, appreciate you big time. Mauricio. Are you investigation? I don't know what you mean by that. My investigation. David Hughes probably gathering up the last of the bots. It was an ultra. Oh wow, regular Ultraman, ultra rare. Crazy. Are you investing in Immutable X? That's what I think you meant. Not are you investigation? That's hilarious. Are you investing in Immutable X? So if I have some extra money, I would probably toss them into IMX. I mean, I think that's going to explode. That could explode quick too, because once the VeVe NFTs are on IMX and everybody sees that these licensed NFTs from a new app called VeVe's on IMX, I think IMX, considering it's already on Coinbase, it was just under $5. It's probably already over $5. Let me look. Why is it not loading? There we go. So yeah, it's just over $5 right now. I think it got over 5, went back down, and now it's back up just over 5. Oh man, somebody mistakenly stole Mickey Mouse for 450 gems instead of 4.5k. Rough one. Let's go, Punch. A cool Mo said my VeVe gem is Pride. Flipped up from a $2,000 investment. Figure I will sell immediately on secondary, bring money back into VeVe, go for a blue chip IP that will drop later. Not a bad idea, cool Mo. I do think that Da Vinci Pride is a big one right there. I think that's definitely going to be a good one. Actually, I had 2 of those at one point. Had to sell one for the Walt Disney. I sold one for Walt Disney at 3.6K. Crazy. I sold so many duplicates to get the Walt at 2.9K or 2.6K. And then I had the 2 Da Vinci sitting there, and I was like, wait, I have 2 Da Vinci's, 1 Walt. Walt Disney's 3K and Da Vinci's 4K? That doesn't seem right to me. So I made an instant gut decision. Boom, sold the Da Vinci 4K, 4.1K. It sold, but by the time it sold, Walt ran up to like 3.6K. As soon as it sold, I just bought Walt, 3.6K, last one in that range. I think the next one was like 3.9, then 4K. As soon as I bought it, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, that was a lot. Went to bed, woke up. Walt was at like 7.98K. I was like, wow, what a decision. Crazy. Confirmed. Market's not open because secret Tiger Woods drop at noon. Could you imagine? What if they dropped the Monopoly guy at 12 o'clock? Wow. Wow. Could you imagine? Johnny Lambo. Probably want a Rolls Royce, but I wouldn't spend my money on that kind of stuff right away. Yeah, that was a crazy move, Punch, just because for real, biggest move and best props on JD. Yeah, it was definitely my both. You're right. It was my biggest and my best move for sure, man. And you guys saw how stressed out I was on live when Walt dropped. It was one of those drops where I just knew I had to get. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I listed my Nightwing. I listed my Dragon Girl. I listed every single one of my big duplicates. And later that night, I was in the marketplace for hours, letting off. I had to sell like 20 FA Captain Americas. I had like 30 at the time. Had to let go a lot of my FA Jokers, FA Harley Quinns. All my duplicates, bought the Walt, 2.9K. But that was the moment that I made the game-changing decision because I want to stop. I was like, there's no way a Walt Disney, the first ever Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse NFT, is more or is less than the Da Vinci Pride. Now, I love Da Vinci Pride. I think that's going to be a big one. I think easily 20K. But I think Walt and Mickey is going to be easily 50K. So right there, I just made that decision. Gut decision. Hard decision to make, too. Especially when you're dealing with that kind of money. Like, for me, that's a decent amount right there. And so, boom, sold at 4K. Bought the Walt at 3.6K. Got to make some gut moves sometimes. I made a crucial decision. Decision making is crucial. Yeah, I think the lab breeding would be pretty cool. Other than McFarlane, what's the other undervalued Batman? Ooh. There's a few, I think. I think the only other FA Batman is kind of slept on. I think the Joe M Batman is slept on because, like I always say, the Rizzo, it's going to get out of reach. The top Batman, that'll get out of reach. The Becky Batman, the rare, that'll eventually get out of reach. That'll get over $1,000, I think. The only one that'll be left kind of in reach from the first set ever will be Joe M Batman, I think. And then eventually, over time, that'll get out of reach. But there's still a lot of good Batmans out there. I think it's like the everybody calls it the dad bod Batman. That's one of the most popular Batman in the whole series. The Mike Mignola Batman. This one, the Mike Mignola. That one's pretty slept on, I feel like. I'm not sure what the price is right now for it, though. Everyone wants free airdrops. You think we'll get any? No username? Hey, yeah, I got one, brother. Just DM me on Twitter. I just don't want to put it out there. Are you on Twitter, my man? Mauricio? Best epic move at Walt. It's one of those moments that I'll talk about forever, I think. VeVe Las Vegas got all the labbits. This is my QR code. Boom, boom. If you guys are on Twitter too, I'll follow you guys back. Market is still down, huh? Maybe we do have a secret drop coming in a minute. I'm just kidding. Let me check. But if it is still down at 12, I was thinking maybe it might open up at 12. I'll hop off and I'll just make a post as soon as it's available. Definitely interested to see what this poster goes for, though. I am very fortunate that I do have the collection I have because the drops are so hard to get these days. Thanks, LV. Did you notice Honey Butt was missing from the last breakfast picture? Ooh, I didn't notice that. Is Honey Butt missing? That's one of the ones I actually still have. Wow, you're right. Interesting. And Honey Butt is one of the characters, like you can see it in the cereal box up there, but it's just not actually in the picture. There's no Bumblebee here. That's interesting. That's actually a good find right there. I wonder what that means. Secret rare painting with the honey button next. What's your Twitter? So my Twitter is Johnny Dunn 777. Sent. You sent me some. Let me see if you follow me on Twitter. Big NFT. Just followed you if that was you. Oh wow. JR Lakers 24. Let's go. Let's go. My man. Green Goblin. That's what I'm talking about. Was that for a giveaway, my man? Somebody else said they just followed me on Twitter. Oh, there he is. Let's go. Steve Atkins, Jay East. I'm following back everybody who just followed me. Yeah, I like the Green Goblin comic a lot. Let's go. Where's he at? Big Lakers fan. Let me go bring up the comic. This is actually one of my favorites as well. And it's a sub 5K mint. Let's go. Focus up. $4,241. Let's go. For you, Happy New Year's, bro. 2022 gonna be big. Facts. And we'll start at the New Year 2022 with a big giveaway. I have a bunch for giveaways 2022. Yeah, it's an awesome gift. Yo, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that. Shout out to Mauricio. And he's on Twitter too. I think. Don't see him on Twitter. But VeVe name is JR Lakers 24. Let's go. Oh, here's Brendan's post. Oh, that's an older one. I can finally upload these notifications. Try to find the one that you guys were commenting on. So many notifications. Crypto Maniac. Saw his notification. Oh man, can't find it, Lily. What if the mark's just down to the New Year? Looks like I'll be live streaming for a while then. No, one more try. It's got to be open, right? Still closed. Still closed. All right, guys. Well, can't tell you guys what the prices are in the market because the market is closed. But stay tuned. Keep checking the VeVe app. I will, repost to Twitter if they make any updates and when the market's open. Stay close to the YouTube channel as well. I always like to create a post on the YouTube channel, the community feed, just to let you guys know the market's open or anything like that. In case you happen to be on YouTube when you get the news, you can hop right off, go to the VeVe app, check out the market. I'll definitely make sure to do that today. All right, I'm going to be hopping off right now. Wish I could stay on until the market opens, but I'm thinking anywhere from like $400 to $700 is probably going to be where the price is. I don't know if I'm going to cop it. I don't think I have enough gems right now. I'll probably have to pass on this one, but it's definitely going to be a good one, I think, for anyone who does have Series 1, 2, and 3. Dasby said, looking forward to what 2022 brings to the VeVe space. Absolutely. I mean, 2022, huge year, guys. I mean, this is the last stream, the last drop of 2021. January 1st, 2022 was the first time that, VeVe actually went public. So it's about to be one full year that VeVe has gone public. Big things are going to happen in 2022. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Stay tuned for all the updates. Appreciate you guys big time. We're signing out. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, y'all.